Johnstown, Denver.
My friends, sometimes you have to look far and wide to find wisdom, and I found a little bit. It's in Budapest, Hungary. This from Reuters. Hungary's ruling Fidesz party wants to amend the constitution in order to ensure that the European Union cannot force the country to resettle migrants. The national news agency MTI reported on Thursday, citing the party's parliamentary leader. Hungary and some other ex-communist countries in Eastern Europe strongly oppose the EU's efforts to persuade member states to share the burden of taking in the mainly Muslim migrants seeking asylum in the bloc. The constitutional amendment was submitted by Prime Minister Viktor Orban to Parliament in 2016, but it failed to muster the required two-thirds majority after opposition party Jobbik blocked its passage. Unquote. My friends, it's always depressing to me as an American when I see people in other countries acting smarter than America. In this case, Hungary. The European Union is a collection of globalists, and they want one nation state, which means basically they want every nation in the world to be a third world nation that they can easily rule over. Exhibit A, the continent of Europe, which is slowly but surely becoming a third world continent, the more and more and more Muslim migrants they import from the Middle East. Budapest, Hungary, says no. We don't want to lose our culture. We don't want to be swarmed over by people who hate us and want to conquer us. We know they want to do that because their holy book commands them to do that. And so Hungary is saying thank you, but no thank you. We're going to maintain our sovereignty. And in doing that, Hungary shows that it's smarter than an awful lot of people here in America. Because we're willing to give away our sovereignty by importing poverty, importing disease, importing people who hate us, importing drug gangs, all in the name of some bogus liberalism, which is really suicide. So let's, as Americans, learn from our Hungarian brothers. And also from Australia and other places, Japan, where they're saying thank you, but we won't import hundreds of thousands or even millions of Muslims. Thank you, but no thank you. And that's the way America will survive. No other way. As long as we keep having porous borders, and we not only allow but invite the entire third world into our country, America won't last. Can't last like that. We've got to screech on the brakes and reverse the process, which hopefully is happening right now. But tip of the hat to Hungary, because they're a lot smarter than we are, and they will survive even after we're gone. It's Thursday, and it's Riell Truth. We'll be right back.
Are you driving a vehicle with hail damage from summer storms? Tired of waiting months to get your vehicle repaired? Dent Vision specializes in paintless dent and hail repair. And unlike traditional body shops, Dent Vision gets your vehicle back to you in days, not weeks. Insurance approved, top quality repairs with lifetime warranty. Call today for your immediate appointment, 970-541-0679. That's 970-541-0679, or look us up at dentvisionco.com.
Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom-tailored capabilities, modest emergency lighting, all the way to commercial-scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom-designed system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com.
All right, my friends, welcome back to Riell Truth. You know the name Katie Hopkins. You've heard her on this show before. She's British, she's smart, she's strong, she's unafraid. And here she is yesterday on the Sean Hannity Show.
Iconoclastic, humorous, fun Katie Hopkins on the program many, many times. This is not a fun interview we're about to do here. And it really should shock the conscience and soul of anybody that is listening. But, you know, liberal progressives, they love to think of themselves as kind and compassionate and sensitive and inclusive and tolerant, especially when compared to, you know, conservatives. You know, every 2 to 4 years, conservatives are racist and sexist and misogynistic and homophobic and xenophobic and Islamophobic. It's the same lie every 2 to 4 years because they don't have a plan that's actually going to make the country a better place. Anyway, you know, imagine if a group of conservatives produce a play about the assassination of, put in any liberal name. Democrats, rightly would go bonkers. You know, you'd have groups like the Southern Poverty Law Center would issue a hate crime alert, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, everybody would demand an FBI investigation, etc. Well, something like that is happening. There is apparently an unmistakable glee that permeates a new musical stage production that in fact features commentator Katie Hopkins. Now, if you're familiar with Katie Hopkins' work, you know, she is an iconoclastic, outspoken conservative in Great Britain. Anyway, in the opening scenes, it's called The Assassination of Katie Hopkins. We learn that she's been gunned down outside the British Media Awards. We don't see the murder on stage. Instead, you discover what went down gradually via the fractured, sometimes contradictory prism of social media. Katie Hopkins joins us now. Katie, welcome to the program. I wish it was the usual fun that we had here. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Sean, and thank you for being so kind. But you're absolutely right. You know, this is a play in Wales, the assassination of Katie Hopkins, and I suppose there's a few things that are slightly perturbing about it are that this is state-funded, so this is sponsored by our government, by taxpayers' money, and by the state that that represents me, I suppose. And the second thing is that some of our listeners, your listeners will be aware, I had, as the rest of my life, C.G. Hardy was sent down less than 6 months ago for plotting to behead me. So I suppose, you know, many of us who are normal thinkers, who are fairly straight thinking, we know that it's a play and that's okay. But I think there's an element out there in society who might not see this as a play and see it as a kind of the state saying, condoning that this is actually, it's okay. You know, the assassination of Katie Hopkins is an okay thing to think about. And that's a curious thing, as you say, because if I was to put up, for example, the assassination of, say, Sadiq Khan, I can imagine I would be arrested and probably locked up before the end of the day.
Well, I mean, what are the laws? Because I understand there are such laws in Great Britain, are there not?
Well, there's a law which you could take this to the police and claim incitement. You know, incitement to violence against me. My concern with that is that our police are stretched. And I've never reported anyone for anything. I never report any of the death threats I get because I think I put myself out there and so I have to suck it up. And I believe that.
This is the thing, and I often hear of people on the left, and for the first time they've experienced a death threat. I do agree, sadly, it is a part of being in the public eye. It is a part of being outspoken. I don't speak about it often, but over the years, like you, I have had every range of threat that you could ever imagine. I wish it weren't so, but it is reality. I try to measure based on individual, you know, I make an individual threat assessment, And I check in with authorities at all times. I mean, the reality is we are out there, but you still have the right. For example, it is against the law in America to make a terroristic threat or a threat against somebody's life. You know, you can't harass and intimidate. You can't, there are stalking laws in the United States.
Agreed, but I fear, and I obviously have my own bias on this, but I fear that the way that our police are now, and the way the Metropolitan Police are in particular, they too seem to operate with a bias, and Conservatives always receive much harsher treatment, and therefore I think if I were to even report it, possibly they would say, look, it's a play, it's in Wales, it's not a direct threat on you, and that's fine, even though my house was installed with alarms at the police's request because of the threats against my family. But I suppose one of the more, I guess, what more factor of humanity, Sean, is that my parents are elderly. I love them dearly, as we all do. My mom's 72, and my dad's in his 70s as well. And I think it was then, it's my mum ringing me and saying, "What's this I've read? The assassination? I don't understand." And also, I have 3 children under 13. I think it's those conversations, Sean. You and I know the industry we work in. You and I know the grief that we both take, for good or bad. But I think sometimes trying to explain it to just people that you care about and care about you, that's obviously a lot of a harder conversation. And I was worried for my mum and trying to explain it to my mum in a way that makes sense. And of course, it's hard to make a play about my assassination make sense.
Well, number one, I'm sorry that you're going through it, and yet people do forget. For some, I actually think that things that conservatives in particular have been so demonized that it's almost like they think that conservatives aren't human. I think they've begun to believe their own false narrative, their own lies, their own opinions that they regurgitate about conservatives. In other words, I think in their minds they think that they are morally superior, that they are smarter, that we don't know what we're doing. There's little evidence of it here and there. For example, the elevator doesn't go straight to the top of these people. That's CNN's chief Washington correspondent, or, irredeemable deplorables by Hillary or Barack Obama, bitter people in Pennsylvania that cling to their God, their faith, their Bibles, their religion. There's a revelation in those comments that are pretty revealing to me.
Yes, I agree, and there is a little bit of that sense of this within as well, because it's a play, and therefore it sits under the bracket of kind of art and performance. It's seen as there's some kind of sneering that goes alongside this. Is it people like me, people that I represent, Brexiteers, Trump supporters?
All right, guys, we'll take a break. I will put this up on my Facebook page, Riell Truth Radio. Watch all of it. Share all of it. Understand all of it. We'll be back.
And of his fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution.
This is the blocker plan, and this is to remind our listeners that the drug problem is well documented. We know our kids will be approached at early age. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who've had the strength to say no to drugs. They provide examples to their peers and families to be the best they can be. That's from the blocker plant located at 366 Grand Street in the Woodland, serving our area since 1943 and specializing in naturalized HB and port and complete custom processing. Call 303-688-2240. That's 303-688-2240.
Total Concrete Services and all of our clients listeners, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Hilltop Road in Longmont, proud to serve the area and to work on behalf of our future. For more information, call 970-535-4780.
My friends, it was a long time ago. I've told you this story. Rudy Giuliani won me over when he booted Yasser Arafat and his party out of Lincoln Center years and years ago when Rudy was still mayor. At that moment, I knew he was good people. Well, he was on TV today talking about this bogus BS Russian collusion nonsense with Bob Mueller. He's representing the president. I'll let him speak for himself. Here he is from Fox News.
I've got to now talk about something that I never thought I'd talk about. This is going to be a long-winded lead up to a question. I've been pointing out in this program 18 U.S.C. 793, mishandling classified information, the Espionage Act, destroying it. By the way, it would apply to a lot of people. I've talked about if I was subpoenaed from all my emails, and I deleted 33,000, and then I asked to wash my hard drive. Nobody heard of Bleachbit until Hillary Clinton. And Bleachbit, and then had an aide bust up all my devices, like she had happened. I never heard of an exoneration being written in May before you interview 17 key witnesses and the main person, Hillary Clinton, in July. The person that does the interview hates the opponent of Hillary Clinton, and they exonerate her for, I believe, obvious felonies. Right? Then they talk about Russia collusion. Hillary Clinton and the DNC funnel money through a law firm, Perkins Coie, and unbelievable to me, a foreign national who we heard wasn't supposed to be involved in our elections, Christopher Steele, gets Russian sources. The FBI never verifies it. They present it to a FISA court to spy on an American citizen, a Trump campaign associate, weeks before an election. They never verified, they never corroborated, and they never told those judges in the original application, 3 subsequent applications, that Hillary paid for it, and they never verified it. Mr. Mayor, war law is broken. Let's start with Hillary. Yes, I've been look, we go back 3 years with this, John, when I produced my charge. Well, I remember 13 crimes she committed, and we got up to about 18. I'm sorry, Hillary. I know you're very disappointed you didn't win, but you're a criminal. Equal justice would mean you should go to jail. I do not know why the Justice Department is not investigating it. And James Comey fixed the whole case and it was rigged. Well, you can't read that stupid report that he wrote, which is the beginning of his destruction, in which he said we're not going to prosecute. No reasonable prosecutor would indict her. No honest, reasonable prosecutor wouldn't indict her. He said today, or yesterday, Comey, he said Hillary deeply respects the rule of law. Comey said that. Wow. Well, this is a very perverted man. I feel so sorry. Do we have a 2-tier justice system in America? Yeah, we have one for Hillary and all those Democrats, Bill Clinton. Is equal justice under the law at risk? You and I have talked about this. I am very afraid, not just for our president, but for our country. There's going to be a witch hunt against Republicans. You had the man on who's lost all his money. For what reason? He didn't do anything wrong. President of the United States didn't do anything wrong. We are lucky that we have a president who can focus. In a way, it almost hurts him because they feel they can do anything to him, and he's going to remain focused on North Korea, Iran. What do we do with China? How do we help Israel? What do we do about taxes? The economy has an incredible story. The media never focuses on it. I actually had to write this down. If we have the Hillary standard, the interview would never be under oath. It would never be recorded, never be transcribed, and by the way, all the witnesses that are favorable to him would be in the room immunized. Oh, and Jared to be immunized, Cohen to be immunized. We'd write the exoneration before the interview. Then we would agree to destroy incriminating digital evidence, like they did in the case of Cheryl Mills and Hillary, and either you or Rush Limbaugh would do the interview. Rush and I would not object. I don't think. Yeah. There was a political report today basically suggesting Mueller would now consider Ivanka Trump. a target. Look at Hope Hicks as one example.
Come on,
She paid more in lawyers than she was ever paid.
Hope is, I wish the American people could get to know her. Hope is one of the nicest human beings you're ever going to meet. Yes, she's very loyal to Donald Trump, but I think the president would say this. She could stand up to him when she had to. What they did to her is outrageous, absolutely outrageous. Ivanka Trump, I think I would get on my Charger and go right to their offices with a lance if they go after Ivanka.
At this point, sir, I honestly agree with you. I fear for the country. Let me go through.
I think if they do Ivanka, which I doubt they will, the whole country will turn on. They're going after his daughter.
What about his son? We talked about him.
I guess Jared is a fine man, you know that. But men are, disposable. But a fine woman like Ivanka, come on.
Andrew, let's go through the different issues that we have brought up and spoke almost exclusively about on this show. For example, you mentioned Hillary Clinton. She obviously committed felonies. We know what they are. You've identified them. I believe as you do, Comey rigged that. Comey. Look at Peter Strzok and Page. They hate the president. They hated the candidate. They talked about an insurance policy. Andrew McCabe lying under oath. James Comey leaking for the purpose of getting a special counsel.
Also, Comey and McCabe contradict each other. Which one of them has to be lying. I mean, I actually think Comey's lying. I think Comey's a bigger liar than McCabe. I think McCabe is a situational liar. He's a much bigger liar. So, if this were an equal system of justice, they'd all be prosecuted.
Let me ask you, because this
is my biggest regret. And I'm sorry, Jeff, to say this, but
you offering the job.
Yeah, it's my biggest regret in not having taken that job. I wanted to be secretary.
My biggest regret, and I like Jeff Sessions, but he never should have recused himself.
Well, he never should have appointed Rosenstein.
I've never heard of somebody being appointed or confirmed and recusing the next day.
Do you know that Rosenstein was with Mueller the night or the day he was interviewed by President Trump to be FBI director? Walked out, knew that he was turned down, and then appointed the next day.
Did you know Rod Rosenstein, apparently, according to reports that we have in this program, signed off on one of the FISA extensions, the one with the unverified dossiers, the bulk of information, as the Grassley Grand Memo said, that he personally signed off? Does that not conflict him out of all of this?
How about he's also a witness to critical information? For a Justice Department that pontificates. I told you, the only crimes committed here by the government.
Let me ask you about them. Andrew McCabe said, without the dossier, there wouldn't have been a FISA application. I would ask you, doesn't the FBI, according to FISA, a law you're very familiar with, an FBI protocol mandate that they verify, corroborate what they present to a FISA judge? Isn't that mandatory? Wouldn't it be mandatory to identify that the dossier was created by an opposition party candidate and not as a political asterisk?
Absolutely.
Is that a crime?
Yeah. Yes. Obstruction of justice. Invasion of people's privacy on no basis at all. It's a civil rights violation.
Unreasonable search and seizure.
It's a civil rights violation. If they search you in the face on that, we sold for a civil rights violation. This is a Justice Department completely unhinged and out of control. It breaks my heart, Sean. I devoted most of my life to the Justice Department. I worked for great attorneys general. My friend Michael Mukasey was one of the greatest, and I watched it with great admiration. My partner, great admiration for Michael. To watch this happen under a man that I love, Jeff Sessions, I just feel bad. And I know the president is heartbroken over this. It isn't that he's angry, he's heartbroken. He never expected this from Jeff. The two of them can redeem themselves, Sessions and Rosenstein. They should order the investigation over.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen either, but if they understood Justice Jackson's admonition to prosecutors that I always live by, which we're not supposed to get convictions, we're supposed to do justice.
Let me stay focused on this FISA issue for just a second, because Rod Rosenstein, after they had subpoenaed the documents, went into Paul Ryan's office,
begging him not to release it, we never would have had the Nunes memo or the Grassley-Graham memo that said the bulk of the application was the dossier Hillary paid for. So my question is this: not only that, there were 3 subsequent renewals with the same false information, the same lying by omission, if you will, by not telling the FISA judges that it was that Hillary paid for it.
If I stand up in court at some point in the next 3 or 4 months, where I really like to be, and I recite these facts, I think the judge is going to look at me and say, I don't believe that's true. How could the Justice Department have gone so far away from the fair and honest administration of justice under decent people? But I think the pressures on them are so great, they just caved in. And once again, I say, there's one way to redeem themselves. Take control of this. You remember Senator Stevens' case?
Sure. Oh, yeah, he lost an election, and then the judge overturned it all because they withheld exculpatory evidence.
Because of government misconduct.
That's correct.
Well, there's been more government misconduct in this case than there has been conduct.
Are you concerned? This was supposed to be about Trump campaign Russia collusion.
Gone.
It's gone. Okay. Never happened.
It's been clear.
So my question is, are you concerned in the process of this? We did discover that a foreign national, Christopher Steele, was paid through Fusion GPS, used Russian sources that not only weren't verified, were debunked. Are you concerned that that was paid for to manipulate the American people in the lead up to an election?
Isn't that closer to the mandate than Michael Cohen? Why isn't that having something? Where's Mueller on that, sir? Having something to do with paying some Stormy Daniels woman $130,000? I mean, which is going to turn out to be perfectly legal. If that money was not campaign money. Sorry, I'm giving you a fact now that you don't know. It's not campaign money. No campaign finance violation.
So they funneled it through the law firm.
Funneled through a law firm, and the president repaid it.
Oh, I didn't know that he did. There's no campaign finance law.
Zero.
So the president.
It's like every Sean.
So this decision was made by
Everybody was nervous about this from the very beginning. I wasn't. I knew how much money Donald Trump put into that campaign. I said, $130,000. He's going to do a couple of checks for $130,000. When I heard Cohen's retainer of $35,000, when he was doing no work for the president, I said, that's how he's repaying. That's how he's repaying for the little profit and margin for paying taxes for Michael.
the president. But do you know the president didn't know about this? I believe that's
He
what
didn't know
Michael
about the
said.
specifics of it, as far as I know. But he did know about the general arrangement that Michael would take care of things like this. I take care of things like this for my clients. I don't burden them with every single thing that comes along. These are busy people.
What did you think of the raid on his office?
One of the reasons we would hesitate to cooperate any further, and I think this is what the breakdown with Dowd during back in January, that took them by surprise. That's beyond anything. That is an outrageous violation of attorney-client privilege, beyond Donald Trump's attorney-client privilege. A lot of innocent people.
I gave him $10 or $20.
How about innocent people like?
We got to continue.
Who called you that night?
I'll talk to you about that when we get back.
My friends, what Rudy Giuliani said, the one thing from his comments that stands out to me is that in this whole bogus investigation, goes back over a year, about a year and a half, there's been more misconduct than conduct. Now, we talk about wanting to have equal justice under the law, which is why Hillary Clinton should have been in jail a long time ago. How about equal justice when it comes to investigating crimes? First of all, there's no crime, and no one has ever suggested there was any crime. After over a year and a half of investigating, zero. Zilch. The government, the Justice Department, has broken rule after rule after law after law after law to try and pin something on Trump, and they just can't. So they're like a mad dog running through the streets looking to bite someone, anyone. Jeff Sessions, Rod Rosenstein need to shut it down today. Try and get some confidence back from the American people. Let's take a break. And we'll be back with more Riell Truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Phillips, founder of the Green Herb.
How many times have you gone into a health food store and are confused as to the many different brands and prices on the same herbal supplements? You want to buy the cheapest, but you're afraid that quality is less, so you buy the most expensive. Truth is, the cheapest may be better. Green Herb herbal supplements are all manufactured in our Wheat Ridge, Colorado plant at 4565 Kipling Street, using the highest quality herb that we source from all over the world. Our 150 different herbal supplements are the most potent and safest in America. Our guarantee is your money back, no time limit. Just return the bottle empty or full, no questions asked. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Genesis Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America News Network.
Chaplain Collins LLC salutes our emergency first responders for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, with 10 locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chaplaincollins.com.
If catastrophe struck, would your family be prepared? Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Bear Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Bear Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Bear Survival.
All right, guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. We need to hammer some more away at this, what is the biggest story in America. This ongoing witch hunt to try and bring down Donald Trump, which is really a witch hunt to bring us down. We finally have a champion fighting for us, the American people, and the swamp is trying to take him out so that we are left without a defender. That's what it's really all about. So here's Rudy Giuliani on Fox and Friends. It was either yesterday or today. Here we go.
But it wasn't for the campaign. Right. It was to save marriage as much as let's go into that. Why the $130,000 payment given to Stephanie Clifford? That's what they negotiated. But why did the campaigner, why did the attorney pay her the money? What was she alleging? Well, she was alleging, although there's the contrary letter that she signed, that it never happened, that there was something, a one-time affair. And I think when Cohen heard 130,000, he said, "My God, this is cheap. They come cheap. Let me get the thing signed up and signed off." So in other words,
So guys, here's what's happening. You know, all the talk on TV and all the videos that I'm playing, all about this Russian collusion and all about Stormy Daniels and all about this. This is the swamp trying to grab Donald Trump around the ankles and prevent him from running forward and fixing what's wrong in America. This is them trying to tie him down, throwing a fishing net over and trying to wrestle him to the ground. Because he's got to spend time with this garbage, these lies, rather than undoing all the damage that Barack Obama did and making America great again. This is just the swamp against the American people. We'll be back.
Establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. He was in the world, and the world was made through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 10 through 13. The American Freedom Network is not funded or supported by special interest or government programs. The American Freedom Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is solely funded by you, the listener. Please help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsors' fine products or by calling 1-800-205-6245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help. American Window Tinting Incorporated in Frighttown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for a would-be abductor. Please make every effort to keep track of your little ones at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228.
All right, guys, we are back now. There are people in Colorado who are on the left. They're Democrats, obviously, because Colorado went for Hillary in the election. So let me talk to those people for a second. Folks, Hillary voters, please put the crayons down for 1 minute, all right? It's not nap time yet. Put the crayons down. You know, if you're a Democrat and you want to voice a political opinion, you had damn well better voice the opinion that is approved by the Democrat hierarchy, because Democrats always walk in lockstep, and there's a good reason for that, because if they don't, they'll be destroyed by their fellow Democrats. Kanye West. Now, I'm not a fan of Kanye West, but he had the temerity, the chutzpah, to say he liked Donald Trump. Well, the backlash was immediate and fierce. He is being attacked like by hyenas and wolves. How can you possibly differ from the liberal narrative? How can you think for yourself? Well, liberals don't think for themselves. In fact, most of the time, they don't think at all. But here's Mark Steyn on Fox talking about Kanye West and the fact that he has been attacked by people he thought were his friends. With Tucker Carlson. Now, my friends, let me interrupt because I've seen a lot of people in my life who want to be individuals. And so they dress a certain way, they get tattoos or a certain haircut to make them look just like an entire group of people who dress the same way and have the same tattoos and the same haircuts. So it's not that they want to be individuals. That's what they tell themselves, and they fool themselves. They really want to be part of a certain group. Now, why being part of a tattooed group is better than being part of a non-tattooed group, you'll have to call me and tell me. But a lot of people who think they're mavericks and rebels and all that stuff, they ain't.
But I think this is, in a way, a sort of obvious correction. Trump is a showbiz figure. He did beauty pageants and he did a reality show. He's on the Regis Philbin Christmas album, firing Blitzen and hiring Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, I would have voted for President Philbin if I could, but the guy who's on the Regis Philbin Christmas album is a pretty good second place. And if you think about it from Kanye's point of view, if he walks into a room and there's Chuck Schumer, and there's Elizabeth Warren, and over in the other corner is Donald Trump. Who is Kanye going to go and talk to? He's going to go and talk to Trump. This, in a sense, is a natural correction to the insanity that the celebrity left has maintained since November 2016.
Well, but that's one of the reasons they've always hated Trump, because he's so off-grid, for good and bad, that he represented the possibility of a real alignment. And they hate that. That's a threat to their business. And so that's why they shut down all dissent, or any affinity for him needs to be punished immediately, because otherwise this could happen.
So, my friends, if you're a Democrat voter, please put the crayons back down. If you're a Democrat voter, do you really want to be part of a whole segment of society, the left, that insists that you believe as they do and speak as they do and never disagree with them? Is that really all you are? Well, here's a revelation. If you're more than that, if you're an individual, if you insist on thinking for yourself, you belong on the right, not the left. Because as far as the left is concerned, you are a widget. And you need to stay right in the middle of that assembly line. Because if you don't, you're tossed in the scrap heap. That's what the left is all about. We got elections coming up in November. Remember that. If you're voting for the left, if you're voting for the Democrats, you're voting for droids. That's all. Nothing more than that. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we will finish up your Unreal Truth.
Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. The people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
Chapel and Collins LLC salutes our emergency first responders for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifices they made for our freedom. This message is from Chapel and Collins LLC, with 2 locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. Total Concrete Services and Long Compromise listeners, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Hilltop Road in Longmont. Proud to serve the entire area and to work on behalf of our future. For more information, call 970-535-4780.
One more shout out to the Democrat voters in my listening audience. They just did a poll in New Hampshire. New Hampshire is where presidential aspirants go first, even nitwits on the left. They did a poll in New Hampshire. Here are the various Democrat candidates and how they stand. You're listening? Listen to this. Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, 26%. She is the absolute apex, the top of this Democrat hierarchy. She's the best the Democrats can come up with. Pocahontas. Joe Biden, 20%. Joe Biden, widely known for a long, long time as Washington, D.C.'s premier horse's rectum. He's number 2. Number 3, Bernie Sanders, who wants to reduce the United States to the same level as Venezuela, where they're breaking into zoos so they can eat the animals. 4, Cory Booker. Cory Booker doesn't think about anything. He just goes on TV and yells in righteous indignation. Over what? Doesn't matter what. He wants to be president. Kamala Harris also wants to be president, but she's down at 4%, so she can yell her head off and nobody much cares. Deval Patrick, I don't even know who the hell Deval Patrick is. Kristen Gillibrand, 2%. Terry McAuliffe, who is a scummy apparatchik of the Clintons. He's had his lips pressed against the Clintons' backside for over 20 years. He's down at 2%. Undecided, 18%. Undecided did better than everybody except Pocahontas and Biden. So this is the measly, ragtag, moth-ridden bunch of losers that the Democrat wants to put out in front of the American people, which tells you how bereft of anything worth anything the Democrats are. Item from Time magazine. Many view Trump's attacks as self-serving. He's called the renowned agency, the FBI, an embarrassment to our country and its investigations of his business and political dealings a witch hunt. But as much as the Bureau's roughly 14,000 special agents might like to tune out the news, internal and external reports have found lapses throughout the agency. And longtime observers looking past the partisan haze see a troubling picture. Something really is wrong at the FBI. Yeah, the FBI is the swamp. That's what's wrong with the FBI. The FBI has been compromised and needs to be completely overhauled. Item from the Daily Mail. Charlie Rose is being accused of sexual harassment by an additional 27 women in a new Washington Post expose. Of those women, 14 worked with Rose at CBS News, while the other 13 were involved in the production of his long-form talk show on PBS. The women claim Rose exposed himself to them, groped their buttocks and breasts, and in one case asked that a young woman, quote, ride him, unquote, in his hotel room. My friends, Charlie Rose is what's known as a celebrity journalist. I mean, he does what I do. He asks people questions. But he gets paid millions, while I don't. So you got to wonder, what else is Charlie Rose doing to make himself worth millions of dollars when he's not pawing and grabbing and squeezing and fondling women? Just exactly what's going on with all these millionaire celebrity journalists. What makes them worth so much money? It's not journalism, because I've been doing journalism for 39 years. No one is waving millions of dollars in front of my face. So whatever it is they're doing that makes them so very valuable, they don't want you or me to know about it. And so goes Charlie Rose. I'll be back on Monday with more Real Truth, my friends. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay angry.